Your godfather was a good man. Oh, wait, that's the Mrs. Phillips. Okay. Your grandfather was a good man. He really upheld the philanthropy of his company's policies, and the money that went towards charity, too. I know. He was amazing. I really look up to him, and I want to be as good as he was. Well, I know that you'll be great as your grandfather. Hell yeah, she will. She'll be 10 times better than her grandfather. Would I? Would I really be better than my grandfather? Everyone seemed to have high expectations of me. I wanted to do my best and make my family proud, but to be better than my grandfather, I wasn't sure about that. From outside the school window, I saw a familiar blue car pull up to the curb. Undoubtedly, it was my father in the driver's seat. Oh, my ride's here. Well, I guess I'll see you both tomorrow. Want to come with us? Oh, wait, want us to come with you? Oh, no, it's okay. I'll be fine. See you. I'm with Daddy. Yo, Dad. Hi, hey, honey. Hey, honey. As I get into the car, I notice my father looked troubled, clenching at his steering wheel and staring straight ahead, as if something was really bothering him. About what happened yesterday. I'm sorry for yelling at you. Does your cheek still hurt? No, it's nothing to worry about. I mean it. I shouldn't have laid a finger on you. You know that you're my precious little daughter. You're all that I have. You're my little butter nugget. You're my little butter nugget. Yet he couldn't bring himself to say what he could never say to me for such a long time. I always wanted to hear those words to affirm how he really felt, but I guess even now he couldn't say it to me. I turned my head away to look out the window. There was no point in waiting for something that was never going to come. And like that, he started the car and the conversation between us ended. I decided to focus my attention on the passing scenery. We were taking the usual route to grandfather's house. It was located within the vicinity of the school district, but it was still pretty far from the school and from where our house was. He had always lived alone. He insisted on doing things by himself, even at his age living in such a large house. I wondered, did he pass away with no one at his side as well? It sounded so lonely and so sad. It was strange that he decided on living alone in this large estate. If anything, he could have lived with us. Though he and my father probably would have given each other the silent treatment for the entire time. Maybe living alone was preferable to that. I actually hadn't visited him for quite a while. Visits to this house were most frequent when I was a child, and I had grown up long since then. The last time I visited, though, I thought he looked just as he usually was. Happy and healthy. But things change. In the back of my mind, I knew he would have to leave one day. It wasn't like humans could live forever. Or something. Foreshadowing. So why did my heart still feel so heavy? The car ride was mostly spent in silence until he spoke up again. How was school? Maintaining your grades, I hope? Who talks like that, maintaining your grades? Upheld your status? Yeah, I've been trying my best so far. Upheld, what the fuck was I saying? Trying, that's not really doing the best you can, is it? Yes. With my father, only some words I said were filtered through his ears. It was made difficult to keep up a conversation without eventually talking about academics or my future, even if it was something loosely based on it. He always found a way to integrate it whenever we talked. Anyway, your belongings are in the trunk. There isn't a lot, so... Wow, that delivery. There isn't a lot, so I'm sure you can manage bringing them inside the house. After all, you're on the road to being independent now. My little big girl. Yes, I can manage on my own. The usual silence resumed between us. I really wasn't sure what to say around him, especially when most of the time we didn't share the same opinions. One question did linger in my mind, though. If he was going to justify acting so nonchalant about grandfather's funeral, I had the right to at least know why. Uh, uh, the I'm probably gonna press on him. My character is kind of I guess takes initiative. So I'm gonna try again. He's gonna be pissed though. Daddy, what about you and Crempape? We are not talking about this. Exactly. I knew it. I knew it. God damn it, Dad. I feel like we should be, because Grandpa did leave us yesterday. So I wouldn't care if he had left even long before that. I did not want to. I did not want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. And this is the end of this discussion. Thanks, Dad. So supportive, as always. He managed to shut down any form of conversation related to him. It was just like what happened last night. I opened my mouth slightly, but closed it again. It was like talking to a brick wall. It wasn't like I could find anything by somehow arguing my way through it. All right, then. I leaned against the car door and stared out the window. I really couldn't think. What would this place be like? I had been to my grandfather's house before, but it was only one thing visiting and another thing actually living there. How would I manage living on my own without any training to really care for the house? I knew that naturally the bills would be paid by my parents, who inherited grandfather's stocks to the corporation, but I had never lived independently before. I'm stacked. Yo, money bags, yo. Thinking about it made me feel some kind of bird being pushed. Why don't you just sell the house? Just sell the estate. I don't think anyone wants to live there. Thinking about it made me feel some kind of bird being pushed out of the nest. Though I was technically an adult, I felt unprepared and a bit daunted by the prospect of actually moving into a new place. Most people my age would be ecstatic moving out. After all, it would symbolize some kind of change in their lives, like being on the road to independence. But I felt like it was nothing of the sort. I really hoped that I wouldn't let my parents down. I wouldn't want to let down my grandfather. What would he be saying right now? I gazed up at the passing clouds in the sky. If you're out there, grandfather, how would you be doing? Would there be anything you'd want to tell me at this moment? And of course, no answer. What am I doing? Searching for an answer in a heaven that would or would not exist. Damn, I took a double take. I was like, wow, that's a little too dark. I ducked my head to stare at the blur of trees and cars from the car window. My head was definitely going into the clouds there at the moment. Either way, I found myself being driven off to my new home. That was kind of dark, dude. The car rolled to a stop, and I drifted out of my thoughts. Here we are. Go on ahead. All right. Tell Mom I love her. All right. I love you, Dad. I love you too, cheeseball. My precious little butter nugget. No, make sure you come by and visit us often. No, I'm going to miss you lots. None other than a blank stare. I paused a bit before reaching for the car door handle, waiting for any form of goodbye, but he didn't speak again. I sighed and exited the car. Hearing my dad pop open the trunk, I saw the 2 large bags I packed last night that were large enough to carry only the things I needed. I took them out, placed one bag on each shoulder, and closed the trunk. He then drove off, leaving me alone in front of the mansion. I watched the blue car fade into the distance of the road before turning to see my new home. Oh, Daddy. He's gone. There it is. It's huge. It's huge. My grandfather gave me this? It's hard to believe. The house was framed by a set of tall gates, and I hesitantly pushed them aside to take in the entire estate. Huge estate, yes. It's pretty big. The house still looked like the house still looked like it was when I first visited. What At a glance, it seemed kind of intimidating with its size, though if I came closer, it was clear that there was more of it than that. The brick walls were framed with shrubbery and lovely flowers, giving it a homey and welcoming look. But in contrast, the tall doors into the house gave me a feeling of grandeur. Who knew what was waiting for me? I wouldn't back down at this moment. I took out the key from the front door and unlocked them. Well, might as well make myself at home. I'll be staying here for quite a while, anyways. That's when I saw them. Laying on the floor was a group of men who were all unconscious. What? But there was no explanation as to why they were there in the first place. I dropped my bags as I let the door close on its own behind me. Yes. Huh? Who the heck are these guys? What are they doing here? Doggy, what now? Some of them had open wounds. The blood was staining from... What the fuck is going on? The blood was staining the floor, and the scent was intermingling with the air. I couldn't help but feel bad for them instinctively, but nevertheless, I was shocked and a bit angry at the sudden intrusion. My mind suddenly went from caring to concerned, to confused, and demanding answers. Who are you guys? No response. I'll call the police. Still nothing. None of them seemed to be awake to answer or respond to me. It seemed surreal. To have random strangers in the house I just moved into, but I wanted answers, quickly. That was until... that guy. Eep! Get away from me! Nice fucking hair. Woman, you're gonna let me kiss you. What? I'm a cool guy. I couldn't believe it myself, but within a mere blink of an eye, one of the men went from lying on the floor to being right in front of my face. What was even more odd was the fact that I felt serene and calm about it. What? Oh, damn. He got like a figure or something. Look at that fucking mess. Slowly a desire burned him from my chest, telling me to accept his kiss, even when my mind vehemently refused. Nice. He looks like one of the guys from Uran Host Club. Like, I think he wears like the same outfit. Go ahead, stranger who was lying on the floor bleeding. Good. Oh. As he kissed me, I could feel my body go weak. I didn't know why, but that kiss was draining me of my energy, and yet it was so good, and it made my heart sing. It made my heart sing, baby. It made my heart sing, baby. This fucking stranger just kissed me. What the hell? It was strange and it was a strange and tingling feeling that danced over every nerve on my body. I could feel streams of intangible energy running up my body into my lips. It felt odd, but at the same time, it felt amazing. Sam, stop it. The person kissing me, Sam was his name, glanced behind him. I said stop, now. Wait, that should be the voice of Sam. Fine. That's good, Sam. Okay, this is the more regal guy. Finally, he pulled back, and I was left standing there in a daze. Huh? What? I couldn't tell what was going on. My mind was completely enwrapped by the kiss in my thoughts that melted into the depths of my forgotten memories. Please forgive my brother. He's a bit reckless. At least I feel a hell lot better than you right now. Because you use your abilities on her. My abilities? Her, what? Sam, you're such a reckless brute, taking advantage of a beautiful young woman like her. Shut that pretty boy mouth of yours. Shut that pretty boy mouth of yours before I rip it off your pretty boy face. Oh, there's 4 of them. Guys, sheesh, you guys. Can we not fight right now? Not all of us are in the best state right now. I guess you're right, Matthew. I agree. There's 5 of them! Who's the fuck is this guy? However, as the men got up and started to chat freely, my thoughts began to reassemble, and I remembered my confusion and anger once again, only now multiplied tenfold. What? Huh? Did you say something beautiful? And I exploded. What's going on? What the hell are you all here in my house? Why are you all wounded? Why did you kiss me? Who are you guys? I couldn't help exploding, but after being taken advantage of and being left in a mush state, my words escaped without filter. I definitely scared the men around me, even the man who kissed me. Wait, what was this guy again? Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. The guy who kissed me. Ouch, what's your problem? What's your problem? You can't just go around forcing people to kiss you like that. Are you some kind of pervert? Pervert? It was only a kiss. It might mean nothing to you, but it means a lot to me. What? Was it your first kiss? Ow! Hey, what's that for? I know first kisses aren't exactly amazing and full of sparkles or something out of a fairy tale, but I had at least expected it to be more than just something forced. So it was your first kiss. Stop making such a big deal out of it. Are you asking to get punched again? What? Well, you want me to do... What, sir? Well, what do you want me to do? It's not like you can somehow take it back. Ask for an apology. You should at least apologize. That would suffice. As if to himself, he muttered something under his breath. Why do I always look like the bad guy? Apologies aren't my forte, but I'll try my best. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. Sorry for what? I'm sorry for kissing you like that. I went too far. He sighed and ran his fingers through his hair. I didn't mean it to turn out that way. It's just, I acted on impulse, okay? It's difficult to control myself and... what am I saying? It's okay. I get what you're trying to say. Thank you for the apology. Yeah, no problem. What was that beat? What was that beeping, bumpy? My heart dumped. Anyway, if you try to pull any funny business in the future, just a fair warning. I know Taekwondo. Tch. I think I've biggered enough. Time to get back to the main issue. So, what exactly are all doing in my house? Miss, please forgive us in our intrusion. We didn't know if this abode belonged to anyone, nor did we have the time to take that into consideration. What do you mean? You don't just barge into other people's houses? We wouldn't have had to if we weren't as wounded as we currently are. We just escaped from a deadly fight that could have ended our lives. Luckily for us, your home was near and the windows were unlocked, so we quickly came in. The last time I remembered, there were laws preventing strangers from stepping to private property, although considering the severity of their wounds, it had to be serious. I guess that explained the wounds, but not why he kissed me. He had absolutely no right to do that. Well, lovely flustered... I fucked that up. Well, lovely flustered lady. It's hard to explain, truly. We're not exactly normal. Not normal? What are you guys, demons or something? I asked, almost jokingly, but the boys seemed to take my question differently. Haha, well, yeah, actually, something like that. Eh? We're incubi. Miss? Demons who consume... What the fuck? We're incubi, miss. Demons who consume and use sexual energy on humans who survive. Holy shit. Incubi, the fabled demons that existed to haunt humans and make them sex-crazed monsters? The mythical beings that could look into anyone just to get into their pants? The imaginary monsters you only saw in movies or on TV? Hello, did you hear him? We're telling the truth. Do you think she's still processing? Yes, and she'll understand right about. Right. It was funny while it lasted, but it's time to cut the joke short. Incubuses don't exist. There was no way they existed. It would be practically impossible. Incubi is the correct plural form, and yes, we do exist. Prove it. As soon as the words left my mouth, I instantly regretted them. Very well. Eric, go ahead. Very well. My sweet, you're so tempting with such non-belief. Let me ease your mind with a tender kiss. I promise you'll enjoy every minute of it, and maybe you'll even want more. Wow, that's your magic, huh? What? Once again, I felt lost in a pool of calm and serenity. Staring into Eric's eyes, I felt waves of heat course through my chest and into my face, painting my cheeks red in the wake. I couldn't help but nod and agree in his offer. Yeah, okay. With another kiss, my heart began to flutter once again in my chest, and my mind felt sent. Let me read that again. My heart began to flutter. Damn it! My heart began to flutter once again in my chest, and my mind was sent spinning in the heat, passion-filled pleasure. Yet I could feel my body drained of energy as he kissed me. All right, that's enough. Oh, very well. It felt so much better. As he pulled away, I was left in the mental mush pool. I felt weak to my knees, despite my will demanding me to stand straight in front of the boys before me. The world around me began to spin as I tried to speak. I think I'm going to... What? 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 Where are my manners? I'm James, and these are my two brothers, Sam, Eric, Matthew, and Damien. I don't know who either one is. Miss, are you okay? Who the fuck are you? Who's Sam? Who's Matthew? Shit, she fainted. Uh-oh. That's not good. I'm not even gonna go there. I couldn't believe it. Incubi. Real. It all spun around in my head until I saw only black. Floating in the darkness, my mind kept replaying the scene over and over again, reminding my body of the touch of the incubi's lips against mine. However, I began to feel a smooth silk around me, and my eyelids unwillingly opened. Where? I awoke to find myself in an unfamiliar place. Where was Mom? Dad? I was pretty sure that this wasn't my room. Oh, wait. I lived at my grandfather's house now. Of course, it would be unfamiliar. I rubbed my eyes and surveyed my surroundings. It was still in the clothes that I arrived. I was still in the clothes that I arrived at the house in, but I was laying in a silk-covered bed. I remembered coming in the afternoon. So why was it night time already? Suppressing a yawn, I stretched my arms. Maybe I should order some food for delivery. I was feeling pretty hungry. I was about to sit up, but I suddenly realized that I wasn't alone. You're awake. Since when was he standing there? And who the heck was he? A guy in my bedroom? Did he? There's no way! Sorry, I think I was saying my thoughts out loud. Why was I apologizing to a stranger who only said 2 words since I woke up? Wait, he looked eerily familiar. Then it all came back to me. Incubus. He was an incubus. He and his brothers came here for refuge, and 2 of them kissed me, and then I fainted. And that was how things came to this. Oh, he was leaning against the far wall, looking at me. My heart began to race as I thought of the endless list of possibilities the situation brought me. I hated the thought of being under an incubus's power, especially in my room. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. My left foot. My big, hairy left foot. You like it. You like it. I want to be calm, okay? I don't want to get. I want to get the attention of the incubus. Uh, Jump up and protect yourself. Be calm. Uh, be calm. I took a deep breath. I was sure that if any of them wanted to take advantage of me, they would have done already. Yeah, I'm awake now. Cheeseball. That's good. That's good. I saw a small form of a smile on his face, which made me blush a bit. Why, though? One thing still concerned me, though. I'm not going to use my power on you. Huh? How? I can read minds. It's an ability I was born with. Each of us has a different ability outside of their usual mind-altering powers. Great. Even more surprises. I grew even more worried than about the situation I was in. I see. How long have I been asleep? For a few hours. It's already gotten quite dark outside. Oh well. Where are the others? My brothers are downstairs, cleaning up the blood from the lobby floor. And making you dinner as an apology. Oh, okay. That's unexpectedly sweet. Oh, it's the least we can do after invading your home, and two of us using our powers on you. You've got a point. Right, I'd forgotten about that. It still irks me that they had practically taken advantage of me at that point. Even if they were demons, it was pretty rude to demonstrate their powers by kissing me. It wasn't some kind of human party thing. I wasn't some kind of human party thing. All of this seemed pretty unreal. It was like something out of those romance novels that Naomi sometimes read. I wish I could have just went back to sleep and forgotten all about this. Maybe I should have just called the police on them. Then I would have never landed myself in this situation. Do you feel well enough to get out of bed? Yeah, I think so. Whoa! How wacky! What did you say? Trust me. I won't let you go. I'm not sure about this. I promise. Okay. I trust you. Good. I was speechless. He was carrying me as if I weighed nothing. He was so strong. A strong, handsome man. Man, plural. Oh, yeah, I forgot. It's all right. I'm used to it. I decided to close my mouth for the time being so that I wouldn't drool all over him and make it awkward. He didn't seem to mind carrying me or listening to me talk, so at least things weren't too strange. Damien seemed quiet and calm about everything, especially with the situation we were in. However, there was a sort of longing in his eyes when he looked at me that wasn't lustful. It was more in admiration. Once we reached the lobby, I decided that I felt well enough to walk on my own. As strong as he was, it was like he was carrying nothing. I didn't want to make him carry me anywhere. Yeah, that would be mortifying. Thanks for carrying me, but I think I can walk by myself now. Not saying that I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. Not in a weird way, of course. It's not like I get carried around all the time. What I'm trying to say is that it was nice of you to do that. I started to fumble over my words again, real smooth. It's no problem. I'll be heading to the dining room then. All right, see you. He gently lowered me to the ground before he walked off quietly, disappearing to the shadows of the dark lobby. Oh, hi! Suddenly, a boy who looked around my age, or possibly younger, bounced up to me. He looked vaguely familiar. Oh, wait. Ah, you're Matthew, right? Mm-hmm. That's me. Are you feeling any better? Matthew sounds the exact same as me. Are you feeling any better? We were all worried when you suddenly passed out. I'm fine. Really? Your face is kind of red. Do you feel sick? No, I'm fine. I'm sure of it. I must have been blushing when Damien was carrying me downstairs. How embarrassing. Well, if you say so, I hope Sam and Eric didn't make you upset. It's okay. After all, I did hit Sam after what he did. And about Eric, I just wanted you guys to prove to me that you were saying... Well, prove to me what you were saying. I suppose incubi are real, then. I wonder how exactly I got myself into this mess. First my grandfather, then a fight with my father, blowing up at what's his name? What's her name again? Lisette. And now this? I certainly had a knack for getting myself into sticky situations. Oh, I have an idea. He shoved his hands into his pockets with a cheery grin on his face. Wait for it, wait for it. Is he trying to do a magic trick? Ta-da! What the hell is that thing? What is that exactly? Is that a knife? He smiled as if to wave it off, and when he opened his eye... Wait, what the hell? He smiled as if to wave it off, and when he opened his eyes and saw what he was holding, his face froze in shock. Wait a second. What did I just make? This is... What the hell is that thing? What he produced from his pocket was a creepy-looking doll. What is that? I'm not sure. What? His face paled considerably as he dropped it to the ground, scooting away from it frantically. Get it away from me! It might be possessed by a demon or something. What face is that? But isn't he a demon himself? It's not that that's not what I wanted to make. I just wanted to surprise you with a stuffed animal or something to cheer you up. But that looks like it came straight out of a horror movie. He slumped his shoulders and looked down at his feet. It's okay. You don't have to look so dejected. I mean, it's certainly unique. No, I'm not keeping that shit. What? I appreciate the thought, but, no thanks. That's too bad. Are you sure? I picked up the doll and waved it around him. It was funny teasing him. God, help! It's gonna kill me! Alright, I'll stop. Anyway, I'm heading back to help out with the food. You can come over if you're hungry. I think I'll go with you then. Something smells good. My stomach rumbled in agreement. I was starving. Oh, what was his voice again? Oh, the girl's awake. Excuse you, I have a name, you know. Should we really care? Sam, I will roast that tongue for dinner if you don't stop flapping in that idiotic mouth of yours. Pfft, whatever. I apologize for this attitude. Oh, that's fine. Good. I hope you enjoy the meal we prepared for you. I prepared that for you. Meal? For a second, my mind didn't understand what James meant. Maybe it was the doll getting into my head and distracting me. Oh, that's right. Damien and Matthew mentioned that they were making dinner as an apology. Oh, wait, you didn't have to. We insist. Besides, it's impossible to undo our cooking, even if you commanded us to. All right, well, thank you. Matthew put down the last of the plates on the table and bowed a bit exaggeratedly to me, gesturing to the table with a sweeping motion. There you go. Dinner's served. The table was filled with various foods from an eclectic selection of cuisines. One portion of the table was filled with elegantly plated Asian foods, and another portion some yummy-looking desserts. And there were yet more and more plates than I could have possibly imagined. Whoa, that's a lot of food, and it all looks so good. We hope you enjoy it, my sweet. Sweet? Me? That's enough, Eric. You're no fun, James. We don't need to be fun, Eric. Miss, please follow me. What a gentleman. He looks so good. He looks so great. I didn't know what came over me, whenever it was his politeness or maybe his power, but I couldn't help but take his offered hand. James seemed quite kind and intelligent, but aside from that, there was something that set him apart from his brothers. Not to mention, he didn't really seem to hold much appreciation for them. Miss, I have to ask, why do you live alone? Well, it's kind of a long story. I'm all ears if you wish to tell. Sure, I'll tell you my long story. Well, to put it briefly, I just moved here today. That explains the luggage you brought in when you came through the front door. By the way, we put your belongings in the room you were sleeping in. That seems to be the master bedroom, I believe. Thanks. This house is really big. I don't think I even explored the entirety of the estate when I was a child. You lived here before? No. Truth be told, this is my grandfather's place. I used to visit him all the time when I was younger. May I ask why you now live with in your grandfather's house? He actually passed away yesterday. It was bequeathed to me in his will, and I was sent to live here, whether I liked it or not. My condolences. It seems like you don't like the idea of living here. It's not that I don't like this house, or that I don't have fond memories of being here. It's just the implications that come with staying at this estate. It's kind of complicated to explain. How do you feel about it? I certainly wasn't expecting that question, but in a good way. It was different from what I heard the entire day at school. I appreciated the fact that he was willing to listen. I feel angry, sad, scared, and confused. It's hard picking out the different emotions that I'm feeling right now. I wish I was stronger. You don't have to be strong. What do you mean? I understand that you're going through a difficult time, so it's okay to feel those emotions. You don't have to be strong at all. Thank you. Are you alright? There seems to be a small bruise on your cheek. He caught me off guard with that comment. I thought no one would have noticed something as small as that. Oh, it's fine. He stopped and leaned in close, a bit too close for comfort, or maybe it was just me inspecting my face. He was really quite tall, having to bend over so much that just look at me straight in the face. It was hard to look at him, especially when he was so close. After a few seconds, he straightened up and began walking away. Walking again. Wait, what? Walking again. Okay. Are we walking or are we sitting? What's going on? Well, if you're having any problems, I'm always here to listen. That's really kind of you to offer. My pleasure. Here's your seat. We were walking the entire time. Let me take your seat. Let me get your chair for you, lovely lady. Eric was quite charming, and his smile pulled at my heart. The way that he kept flirting with me definitely designated him as a charmer of the demons. Yet there was a little distance in his eyes. By the way, I apologize for my behavior earlier, stealing your second kiss like that. Huh? Oh yeah, when I didn't believe that they were incubi. It's fine, I guess. I mean, you didn't just get up and grab a kiss for no reason. I'm not as forward, unlike Sam, haha. Haha. Suddenly, Eric leaned in and whispered in my ear. I won't lie, though. I enjoyed kissing you and feeling you melt in my arms. I was torn between smacking him and trying to play it cool. Be cool or smack him. Well, I'll smack him. Fuck it. Wait. Should I play it cool? I'll play it cool. Put my cards right. You sure are quite the charmer. Yes, I'm known for that. As much as I do appreciate the constant compliments, you don't have to keep talking to me like that. Like what? He batted his eyelids as if he had no idea what I was talking about, and I couldn't help but laugh. Well, like you're trying to get into my pants half the time. I can assure you, I'm just a lover of beautiful women. Something tells me there is more to it than that. For a moment, he looked away, losing a bit of his smile. Before I could question it, though he turned back to me with a new teasing smile. Do you want there to be more? I didn't want to hit him, but I didn't know how to react, so I couldn't look at him. I merely chuckled again in my ear. He merely chuckled again in my ear. Sorry, you just look so cute when you're blushing. I felt my face heating up simply from his words, and I then felt Eric taking my hand and kissing it gently. I hope you'll enjoy dinner, however, my dear. I drew my attention back to the dishes. I was both intrigued and slightly scared by the amount of food they made. Seeing my expression, Eric leaned forward and proudly smiled, gesturing to all the dishes from the dramatic sweep of his arm. I made almost everything. I made almost all the dishes myself. Humorously enough, Matthew looked at him with a shocked expression, as if he was betrayed. His face changed instantly to that of a frown. And I'm the Queen of the Nile. What's that supposed to mean? Me, you, and James at the work together, dummy. It's you, James, and I, Matthew. Little boys will always make mistakes. Matthew looked at James in disbelief, probably for siding with Eric, and he annoyingly swiveled back to Eric to confront him. I am not a little boy. I'm barely a year younger than you. Well, you certainly don't act like it. Haha. I really couldn't help but laugh. Matthew seemed very much like a kid. He was adorable. However, I couldn't help but feel like in a way he was much more mature than the others. But wait, especially Eric. I couldn't help but feel he was in a way I couldn't help but feel like in a way he was much more mature than the others, especially Eric. Wait, are you saying that he's more mature? I thought you were arguing that he's not because he's the youngest, or he acts like the youngest. I don't know. Huh? Is something funny? No. It's nothing at all. Thank you for the meal, all of you. Oh, you're welcome, miss. Such a well-mannered young man. Beautiful inside and out. Eric, knock it off. In agreement with Matthew, Sam cocked up his head and glared at Eric. Seriously? You're getting really annoyed with that suck-up act? It was obvious that Sam was the bad boy of the group. He had this big tough act, and it was obvious he was physically stronger than the rest of the guys. Sure, but there was more to him than that. I was just trying to be a gentleman. The young girl had already gone through so much. She deserves a good treatment. There's a difference between being a gentleman and being an obnoxious flirt. Ha! Getting schooled by James. You're going to need some cold water for that burn. It's another guy. Hee. By the way, I don't believe we caught your name, even though you know each of us. I'm Cheeseball. It's a pleasure to finally know your name. That's a nice name. They were all comfortable around me, despite the awkward situation we were in. It was as if it were natural for them to be around humans. I guess that was just how incubi worked. But I was just curious about one thing. Excuse me. All at once they looked at me. I didn't know why, but having all of them look at me made me feel kind of important, like a queen or something. What is it, miss? I wanted to thank you for the food, but I still want to know why you all came here. I feel like I don't quite understand. Understand? Yeah, like being told that a bunch of incubi randomly appearing in your house was perfectly understandable. How do we explain? Wait, who's Sam? We were attacked. We came here to heal. What's so difficult to understand? Now you're just being rude, Sam. I'm just saying, how is that difficult to understand? No, I mean, what specifically happened? Well, you see, we've been traveling around for quite some time now. Just recently we came into town, but we were jumped by this band of misfits. So in order to escape and heal, we came here for shelter. Again, We apologize for the mess we made. It's fine, I guess. So, you're all better now, right? Yep, all thanks to you. Huh? Me? You see, beautiful, we feed on sexual energy, so we don't just get it from kissing lovely ladies, such as yourself. We can simply touch someone's hand and obtain sexual energy. I guess everyone carries sexual energy, you know. Sexual energy. Ugh, that's kind of creepy. I'm not even gonna bring up the implications. These incubi intrigue me. Of course they do. At the same time, I can almost hear a warning siren going off in my head. Is there anything you wish to know? Well, what do you all plan to do now? Yeah, what are we gonna do, James? That's a very good question. We just got here, and surely we'll be hunted again if we leave. We can take him easily. Not without more training, Sam. The result of that was clearly evident in our last encounter with them. At that moment, I didn't know what came over me, but I suddenly felt sorry for them. They couldn't possibly survive out there. If they didn't know it was illegal to break into people's homes, they probably didn't know a bunch of other stuff. They probably would cause chaos all over town. Or on the flip side, they could be taken in for questioning and be poked and prodded like lab frogs for research. That was even worse. But most of all, that reminded me of back then. I was standing alone. The entire classroom was filled with laughter and chatter, but I stood in the midst of it, quiet and alone. It was strange seeing the whole world pass in front of me with such vibrance, all while I stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge or kicking someone too hard. It was kind of nice just standing back and watching things pass by and life go on. I had long before convinced myself that I preferred being alone. I often said that to myself in encouragement. Yeah, I want to be alone. There's no one I like better than me, so I ought to spend more time with myself. But there was a certain bitterness that, coupled with being alone, made me feel so sad. There was a difference between being alone and lonely. I just didn't realize it at the moment. And even at that moment, my father, my mother, there was no one to turn to. I was so lonely. That's when I decided to get right. That's when I decided on it. That's when I decided on it right then. When I was going to see my grandfather, I didn't care if my father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk my way over there and see what he had to say about it. I had never seen him before that. What? Okay, it's a weird phrasing. I had never seen him before that. What better time to see him then? If no one else was going to help me with what I was feeling, I might as well have turned to him. So after school, I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there, and I was armed with only a scrap of paper with the address scribbled on it. As a 7-year-old, I obviously had great ideas. I soon became lost, and like I always did when I felt lost, I just stood there on the sidewalk, back pressed against the wall, and eyes looking at the strangers passing by. And like always, people continued to pass by, and life continued to move on. I was sadder than ever, and when I ended up in the situation I was originally in, I was sadder than ever. I had ended up in the situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. I thought that I was silly for even thinking that I could change things with my own hands. That was until a voice brought me back to reality. Cheeseball, is that you? I looked up and saw an unfamiliar face, but it was obvious that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. And from that moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints, and I realized that things were moving along. Suddenly, I had become part of a crowd, and that moved like a blur past. I had become part of the crowd, and that moved like a blur past me. Okay. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past me. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person who found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them. Though, would I? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if that was the best idea. After all, 5 demons in my house was exactly the living arrangement that I had imagined when I first moved in. There was the matter of making sure no one found out of their powers. Thinking about them as lab rats made my stomach queasy. I don't know. I don't know about that. I think you have ulterior motives, honestly. And even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over. They would practically think I was a part of their harem or something. Oh God, imagine if my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Yeah, 'cause you're so good-hearted. Who knows what my dad would do? I think he would flip his shit. He would shit his flip. He would flip his shit. I think he would have them arrested on the spot. Ugh, this is hard. Maybe I should have written out the pros and cons list before actually having to make a decision. Don't worry about it too much. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well. It was strange that I happened to remember what my grandfather said to me when I was little, but it did kind of make sense. They weren't in the same exact situation that I was before, and I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience and also make me a bit happy to give them help, as weird as it sounded. Clenching my hands into fists, I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could... What was that, young lady? That is, spit it out already. You can stay here with me, if you like. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads for my words, but silence in the air cut like a knife until I finally spoke up once more. It seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and, well, I just moved into this giant house, so it seemed like it made sense. It was still quiet in the room. I decided to keep talking. If you would like to stay here, though, there are 2 things that I need all of you to follow. Yes. First of all, you can't use your powers or deliberately do something that might harm me or any guests that come over. Well, save for enemies, but you get the drift. That sounds reasonable. Second, you have to help me with any errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so yeah. That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that will be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have. It's all right, really. I mean, I just started living here myself, so I would appreciate some help around the house. It would be a wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you. What is Dragon Ball? And train helping you with the house. And train while helping you with the house. Servants for a lovely princess. What? Are you serious? Shh, be quiet, Sam. You haven't slept in a bed for days. I haven't slept in a bed for days. Huh. They all seem to like the idea, except for Sam. And hey, I didn't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. It would be interesting having 5 guys help me with taking care of the house, given they would follow the rules that I had just laid out. Ugh, fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we beat up that group of punks. Blech. I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay. Yeah, this is awesome. Also beautiful, if you need a bedfellow. Oh, he's asked. Also beautiful, if you need a bedfellow. Eric, knock it off. I was happy that they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help and I want to help people. And my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure. So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in. Jesus. Finally, I'm starving. Ugh. Instantly, god damn it. Instantly, Matthew and Sam began to stuff themselves with the food on the table. I noticed James' eye twitching in irritation, so I stifled my incoming laugh. Really, you two? You're both acting like pigs. Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like it's not like they've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving. Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine. I almost couldn't hold it in. So I didn't, so I did, so then, what? I'm just gonna laugh. I merely smiled before I took some food for myself. There was one piece of food that intrigued me and was barely touched by the boys. It looked like green pasta with shrimp over it. Huh? What is this? Oh, miss, it's a shrimp pesto dish. Pastas are my specialty, so I'm positive you'll enjoy it. I twirled some around my fork and tried it. I could feel my senses open as my taste buds practically melted in delight at the taste. It was creamy and savory, almost impossible to describe. This is amazing. I'm glad you like it. At least someone here in the room has taste. Matthew and Sam glared at James before they continued to eat. I couldn't help but smile at the brotherly quarrel before eating the rest of the pasta on my plate. James seemed to really hold high standards for his brothers, though it wasn't my place to question why. Eventually, we all ate dinner together. It was strange, eating with just guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. They made me feel like a part of their family as we ate together. However, our peace was soon disturbed. Huh? It's my mom, excuse me. What a fucking song. Hello? Hi, honey, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you off. Hi, Mom, everything's fine. I'm actually eating dinner right now. Oh, good. So there's food there. Well, your father wanted me to call you and talk to you about having a house party tomorrow night to celebrate the new house and all. A house party? Tomorrow night? So soon? So soon? Your father insisted. You know, he's with the you know how he is with the rents. He likes a party. I knew exactly what she meant. He didn't like long relaxing periods between important events. It was slightly messed up. I was expected to act on the drop of a dime, so moving immediately the day after a funeral to my grandfather's house from moving immediately the day after a funeral to my grandfather's house to now organizing a party. I know. Well, since I don't exactly have you two here to help me arrange it, I'm going to need some time to prepare things. Oh, that's fine. I mean, Suzu and Naomi could help. I could work and you know what? Sorry. I have work and you know how your father is. I know. I have to do it myself. He won't help. I'm sure it'll be amazing, honey. I have faith in you. Thanks, Mom. Alright, gotta go. Love you, sweetie. I love you too, Mom. Great. Now how am I gonna do this? Is something wrong? She has to organize I don't even know his name. There's 4 or 5 guys already. I have no idea who this guy is. I think he's like the most blandest dude in the bunch. He has to organize a house party with the parents. How did you... Oh, right, mind reading. Huh. But yeah, I gotta do it soon or my parents are gonna be really disappointed. I have to stay up and organize everything tonight. Hey, why don't we help you? That's why we're here, right? I don't see why not. I can name a few reasons why we shouldn't. Sam, back off. We'll take care of everything, miss. Just leave everything to us. That was surprising. I didn't think the boys would offer help right off the bat. I couldn't help but smile. I was actually rather thankful now that I let them stay. Now I didn't have to do everything alone. As I kept thinking about it, I couldn't help but yawn. Feeling a bit tired over there, Princess? Yeah, haha. It's been a long day. At least tomorrow's the weekend so I can sleep in. Then it hit me. Wait, where are you all gonna sleep? We found some guest rooms on the opposite end of the house from the master bedroom. I'm sure those will do just fine. Oh, you got it. All right then. I'm heading to my room to study and sleep. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. I will. You too. With that, I left the dining room and went to my room. Eric, no. What? I wasn't gonna do anything. Yes, he was. Shh. As soon as I got to my room, a wave of exhaustion hit me. Why am I so tired all of a sudden? I just woke up from a nap. I dragged myself to the bed and hauled up one of my bags. I opened it and grabbed my economics book, knowing that no matter how tired I was, I had to study at least a page or two before sleeping at last. The words on the page scrambled in my mind as I read through them, but after 2 or 3 tries, I managed to understand what the page was about. Equations. Ugh. Finally, I decided to change into my pajamas and head to bed. Today had been a long day, and I needed to rest. Hopefully, tomorrow will be better. 3 days of surprises in a row would kill me. With that thought in my mind, I drifted to sleep, embracing the darkness of slumber. Ha ha ha. What? You fucking pretty boys think you're all that, huh? Well, say that to the end of my pistol. Wow. You fucking pretty boys think you're all that, huh? Well, say that to the end of my pistol. Huh? What's going on? I couldn't move my body. I felt like I was tied up, and I couldn't see anything beyond the darkness that surrounded me. Yet I could hear the sounds of a heated argument coming at me from all directions. Ha ha! One move and she gets it. Let her go. Matthew? Come on, chicken shit. Fight us like a real man. Like you scare me, Sam? Come on. One step. Take one step, I dare ya. I can't see. Why can't I see? Stay away from her, Malix. And what are you gonna do, nerd boy? Suddenly, I felt myself pulled to one side, and arms wrapped around my body protectively.